Hey, what's going on, KamKast? It's Cam here. Got another fun and exciting episode for you guys. We're actually going to be talking NBA Awards 2021. We're going to break down every single award from MVP, Most Improved Player, even Executive of the Year for whatever reason. It was too much for one person, so I brought on my good buddy Ethan Valtierra. We're going to talk to you about, all the different awards, like I said, all the players that we think are deserving, some of the sleepers. We're going to get into some other talk. And you're just going to be, talking a lot about the NBA, the upcoming playoffs, the season as a whole, and really good, strong pod. A lot of fun, pretty long, pretty lengthy, so it's good for a car drive or anything like that. It's available on all platforms. If you're listening on Spotify, check it out on YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube, check it out on Spotify if you're driving. So you can do that anywhere. And as always, make sure you're following on KamKast on Instagram, you guys. Guys, cam.cast, KAM.KAST. I really appreciate all the support I've been getting the last month or so, last couple months. The channel's growing. I'm getting a lot more followers, a little bit more engaged in everything that's been going on. And it's honestly been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying it. And I just want to thank everybody who's been able to, share and like and subscribe to the pod. It means a lot for me. Makes me want to continue to keep doing this because I love talking about sports and movies and, pop culture and all that stuff. So if you want to continue to get on the conversations, keep doing it. I'm not gonna fucking stop you. Do your thing. Come and join me. Let's talk. But without further ado, NBA awards. Who is the MVP of 2021 season, and everything else, guys? All right, let's go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? We have a fun and exciting episode of the NBA Awards 2020-2021, and it's too much for one person to handle, so I went ahead and brought my good buddy Ethan Valtierra on board for a second time. Ethan, thank you for running it back with me. You ready to do this?
Yes, do it. Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Anytime. It's I thought about doing this earlier this week, and I was like, man, I got to get Ethan back on the pod, especially because of the Westbrook and the Wizards, made the A seed today. So in honor of your Westbrook love and admiration and my disdain, I thought it'd be good to fuse two ideas together for this pod.
Russ, we trust.
You'll be surprised to hear what I have to say about Russ later on in the episode. Then, man.
I hope it's good things because I don't want to have to break off our friendship.
Oh no, we don't want that. It's been cultivating and brewing for a good 20 years, something like that. Probably 15. I don't know. It's a long number. So for those of you listening and those of you watching, we're going to break this down pretty simply. We're going to go down each of the categories. We're going to give you our thoughts. We're going to break down some of the stuff we actually think is important to break down. And, if you have any comments, you think that you agree with any of our picks, go ahead and let us know. And for the first award, we're going to start off with Executive of the Year. Ethan, who do you got?
So this one, it didn't really take much thought for me. I'm going with James Jones of the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
What he did getting Chris Paul, I feel like elevated them aside from, just individual growth of, guys like Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton. Campaign has turned into a good rotational guard. But, adding Chris Paul obviously is huge and elevates everybody around you. Getting a guy like Jay Crowder and, continuing to develop the talent that you already have on the team, I felt it was right to give it to James Jones. And behind him, just a couple honorable mentions. I have Scott Perry of the Knicks and John Horst of the Bucks. Scott Perry obviously he helped position the Knicks into getting into the 4th seed. And obviously bringing on Leon Rose to New York had something to do with that too.
Yeah, they finally stopped signing 5 power forwards for their team, and they got a bunch of players and guards now for once, huh?
And Taj Gibson.
Yeah.
Always seems you don't watch a team for 2 months and then you look up and Taj Gibson's starting for them.
It's strange. It's definitely strange.
But the Emmanuel Quickly pick, trading in the middle of the season for D Rose, which I feel like
genius for a steal
season. Oh yeah,
he got him for nothing, and he's been balling out all season.
Oh yeah, and guys like Nerlens Noel and Reggie Bullock staying on board. And
Nerlens was, I think, 2nd or 3rd in blocks this season per game, which is impressive.
Yeah, he had a really good year. He's a really good defensive anchor. Just around guy. Julius Randle obviously taking the leap he had.
Oh, of course, of course.
But yeah, those are my picks. James Jones leading the way. So just curious to hear what you got.
So I only had one guy for this one, and it's not because of really what the team kind of did during the season because they weren't really particularly good this season. Um, all right, so my executive of the year, like I said, it's not like based off of how good the team did this season because they weren't very good. They had their main star was down, and they finished pretty deeply like low in the West. But it's got to be Sam Presti for me. What he was able to do, getting so many different draft picks while also finding a couple of amazing gems like Alexei Pokashevsky, that skinny
Poku.
7-footer. I'm a big Poku guy, man. I had him in fantasy, and he was great. He's fun to watch. He has no idea that he doesn't. He's not aware that he's not the star on his team. And they have Lou Dort, who I'm a fan of. They have Moses Brown, all these young random guys, and then they have like 17 draft picks in the next 4 years. I think what they were able to do, I know. Poku's great.
What is he? He's 7 foot, like 190, and
soaking wet.
He runs pick and rolls, and he
has
to get to his spot. I like Poku.
He's great. I love Poku. He is not afraid of anything. I loved Poku. Man. And they got him like I think 17th pick overall in the draft or something like that. But I honestly like what Sam Presti did. It's hard. He got value for pieces the last couple of years that he got 5 picks from Paul George last year, right? He's gotten a lot of picks and a lot of things for players you wouldn't. He got he traded Dennis Schroeder away and got a pick for him. He traded Danny Green and got another pick for Danny Green. It's just he was able to get picks from everyone. And so I think for that reason, longevity-wise, I think that he, for me, is the executive of the year. But I like your case for the Knicks GM and the Bucks GM because the Bucks basically fleeced the Pelicans and got Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
Like – you know what I mean?
I was concerned when that trade originally went down because, Drew was on an expiring contract. He's obviously not obviously, but he's probably in his physical prime. But I mean, he not much more room for improvement on his game. But he's obviously an amazing player, amazing defender, can score at will at all 3 levels.
Mm-hmm.
But they signed him long term. They got him for another 4 years. He's clearly an upgrade from Bledsoe. And,
Bledsoe's garbage.
He gives him a lot more. He has not been good, but with adding some shooting around them, they got some guys off the bench. They got Bryn Forbes. They added Bobby Portis, who could have been a course 6 man of the year, or maybe just an honorable mention on the tail end of that. But they definitely had a good offseason, and it's worked out to their advantage.
Yeah, I don't dislike the Bucks GM pick. What's his name again? I don't want to disrespect him.
John Horst. I
actually like that one. I think that I don't know if they're better than last year, but I think that I think Drew Holiday is an obvious upgrade from Eric Bledsoe. I really do think that. And they were able to keep Giannis, able to re-sign Drew, and re-sign Chris Middleton. They're not going to win anything this year. They might not ever win anything, but I think that that's a fair pick for GM of the year. So I'm cool with for executive. So I'm cool with that one from that. Yep. Are you good with that one? Or did you like the Knicks GM better?
I think overall, just because of the season the Knicks had, I think I'd go with the Knicks.
I'm cool with that. That's fair.
But all things considered, I think I lean James Jones just because of the success that the Suns had this year, and it had to do with their offseason moves. And
that's true.
It seemed like a very good fit. They all play very well together. They complement each other's games. So.
Honestly, the undervalued signing or addition, I'm not sure how they acquire this guy, but Jay Crowder. Everywhere he goes, teams just seem to win. He's just one of those guys. With the Celtics, they were winning. With the Grizzlies, they were winning. Heat, they were winning. He's one of those glue guys that a team really needs. And I think that having him there brings a level of toughness and that they didn't really have him and Chris Paul combined. So I like the James Jones one. So we'll go ahead and move into Coach of the Year now. I'll go first on this one. For me, it's pretty cut and dry. I got a couple options here. Quinn Snyder was an option for me. Monty Williams was an option. But it's clear. It's Tom Thibodeau. It's Tom Thibodeau. It's easy. It's Tom Thibodeau. I'm going to tell you why. I got stats here. You think you like stats? I got stats for you.
Stats. I'm a big stat guy.
Yeah, big stat guy. All right, so the Knicks, the last 5 seasons, they had a 39 win percentage, 38, 35, 20, 31. This year they have a 57 win percentage. 4th in the East, 41 and 31. He plays 7-8 guys, all high minutes, turned Julius Randle into a potential MVP candidate. He was that good this year. And it takes a lot for me to say Julius Randle was good. The man has me blocked on Instagram for the last 4 years. So for me, it's Tom Thibodeau. He really transformed. Like, that team on paper is not good. And he made them good. You know what I mean?
Well, I would say not good is a bit of a stretch. They're a bunch of mid-level guys who you're not gonna, I'm not sure. They're good players. They're just not guys you would expect to fit.
Yeah, they're starting Reggie Bullock and Taj Gibson.
Yeah.
Like it's a bunch of it's an island of misfit toys, but he's such a good coach, and the culture they have there is so positive now. He nurtured that and made it just one. If you watch those guys play, they love playing together.
He seems to bring out the right amount of toughness in them.
He does.
He's always been known as like that kind of just old school kind of grit and grind guy. You're gonna play 48 minutes for him, even if your leg is falling off. And he has the right guys on his team to pull that off, and they seem to really embrace that culture. And I was skeptical of the signing at first, just because he didn't really have much success the years prior, in Minnesota and the tail end of his stint with the Bulls. And he was my number 2 guy.
Number 2? Who's your number 1?
I'm staying with the Suns, and I'm going Monty Williams.
I can't disagree with that. That's another good pick. I mean, they're the 2. They're about to get swept in the first round, though. I mean, Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5.
Yeah, I'll give it.
Lakers in 5. But not he. Monty Williams is a great coach, and we saw it last year in the bubble when they went 8-0, and we're very close to being the 8th seed and playing the Lakers in.
Yeah, and I think last year, if DeAndre Ayton never gets suspended for the PED testing.
Oh, don't even remind me, bro. I had him in fantasy.
I'm sorry to bring up old.
That and John Collins too. The only 2 guys that got suspended 2 years ago. I had them both. But whatever. That was But no. You're 100% right though. Ayton's never going to be like a powerful presence in the paint, but he's a good player. He really is.
His awareness on defense, his presence on defense has just grown a lot this year. Before, his first year and a half in the league, he was a somewhat incompetent defender that he was a liability. And now he's solid. He knows where to be. He makes the right rotations.
Yeah.
He can score. He seems to be.
He's a good shooter.
He's a good shooter.
Surprisingly good shooter.
That Chris Paul being there is helped elevate his game not just but just the paint in general.
He honestly reminds me of a poor man's Tim Duncan. He's got that skill set, that kind of demeanor and stuff like that. He'll never, obviously, I'm not saying he's Tim Duncan. I'm just saying he reminds me of Tim Duncan a little bit, like like I said, a poor man's version. But no, if either one of those guys wins Coach of the Year, I'm not going to be upset. I think those are the 2 most deserving guys, is Thibodeau and Monty Williams. I think they were great this year.
Just some quick stats for Monty. The Suns this year, they're 5th in offensive rating at 117.2. That's 117.2 points per 100 possessions, which is
fantastic. Yeah, a lot of that's Chris Paul too.
Yeah,
that's Chris Paul.
And they're 9th in defensive rating, which
they got amazing defenders on those wings.
They have some good defenders.
Mikal Bridges, I think, is going to be a monster in the future. His offense. I'll be talking about him in a later on in this pod for sure.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, we seem to be on the same page, and that's awesome.
There you go.
This is rare for the pod.
Can't wait to disagree with you on something.
I'm here for it. All right, rookie of the year. For you, there's only 2 options, right?
There's 2, but there's a third guy.
There's a third guy. Yes. Crazy good.
He's really
fun to watch. But, who's the third? The third guy for me is Halliburton.
Yep, Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, Halliburton's great.
He's so good.
He reminds me of Jason Kidd, like a lot of Jason Kidd.
He's
what we wanted Lonzo to be. Yeah, he's exactly what we wanted Lonzo to be.
He's so smart. His skill set is just he's already.
How did they get him like 12th in that draft? I remember when we did the draft recap, we were like, "Hey, this guy, that's like he should be higher than that," you know?
Yeah. His shot is still awkward, but it clearly doesn't matter.
It goes in.
He can shoot off the dribble. Spot up shooting does not matter. He is great coming off the screens with the ball.
He's great.
He can make plays. He finds the open man.
What's crazy is 2 years ago, him and THT were teammates at Iowa State, and they couldn't make it to the tournament. That's insane, right?
Yeah.
Imagine all that length, all that talent. Like that's unbelievable. Okay, so the top 2 guys, I was tossing and turning. I was going back and forth because LaMelo started out strong, like really strong, and then he got injured. And then as soon as he got injured, Anthony Davis blew up.
Anthony
Edwards. I don't know why I want to say
Anthony
Anthony
Davis
Davis.
is good. Breaking news here on the
Yeah, breaking news. The brow is good. No, but no, Anthony Edwards, after he had that dunk on Ute Watanabe of the
Oh my
Raptors,
gosh.
which was insane, by the way, probably one of the best in-game dunks I've ever seen. He just started getting more confidence, and he's got some. He might be this season. He might have been the best post-game interviewer ever. Like everything this kid says is
So good for the
amazing.
game of basketball.
He's
He is so
amazing.
good.
I love every time he's on screen. Give that guy a mic. He's just gonna be saying some random shit, and I love every minute of it. Like the one guy that was Irish that was talking, and he's like,
Oh yeah.
"Wait,
Like
what?
your
What?"
accent.
Yeah, he's like accent. Where'd you learn to talk like that? That shit was so.
Just
Long story short, I still couldn't put Anthony Edwards as my rookie of the year. I had to give it to LaMelo because as good as Anthony Edwards was, when LaMelo was on the court, the Hornets won games.
yeah.
And he was put – it's not like – their stats were pretty comparable, right? I think Edwards was at like 19 points per game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. LaMelo was at, 15, 6 and 6, right? With an amazing three-point percentage, which was surprising.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I was leaning LaMelo the whole season. He got hurt. I still think if LaMelo would have missed the entirety of from when he got hurt to the end of the season, I still think I would have had him.
Me too. Yeah, I think he wowed me more.
Yeah, he's really good. He's not only offensively, he's so smart.
Oh my God,
he gets into passing lanes. He's got quick hands. His ability to see things happen before they actually happen is just off the charts.
He's got all the intangibles.
Yeah,
and he's fun, and he does like those crazy. Also, I think that is it Eric Scott, the announcer for the Hornets? Eric Collins. Yeah, no, you're right. It's Eric Collins. He does an amazing job of calling those games. We need to get him and Del Curry to be the announcers for the playoff games. He's amazing.
I would love that.
He's absolutely amazing. He gets me hyped
for Miles Bridges and LaMelo.
No, Miles. I now I get excited every time I hear Miles Bridges' name. I think of just of Eric Collins, just Miles Bridges. It's fantastic. But no, so we're in agreement that he's rookie of the year. LaMelo is.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what's going on, Ethan? We're agreeing too much, man.
I don't like this.
This is fun.
It could have gone either way.
Honestly,
I wouldn't be mad if he wins it.
No, I wouldn't either because I really like Anthony Edwards. I think he's a great player. He's got a good future in the league. And I was wrong about him. I thought he was going to be a bust.
I didn't think he'd be a bust. I thought he would still be a good player. I didn't think he would be off to as good of a start as he is.
I didn't think he'd be this ready.
He is fearless.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I mean,
I love
Minnesota got a good one with him.
They got a good one.
Yeah, developing a good chemistry and
yeah, he's got to get rid of D'Angelo. He doesn't fit there.
He kind of carved out a little niche for himself at the end of
the
season. I think there's some sort of value in either keeping him or trading him and maybe finding some pieces that fit better. I also think Minnesota had with Jaden McDaniels. I really liked him.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah,
he's great. And their backup point guard, Jordan McLaughlin, which is always fun to see.
Yeah, nice to see an IE native.
I know. You guys played against him. I played against him and coached against him. It was interesting. Yeah. All right. Most improved player, for me, it's easy. It's Julius Randle. It's not even close. It's just because his mentality changed this year. It wasn't necessarily like his stats went way off the charts, which they did. I mean, he improved by 5 points per game, but his percentages were a lot better. He went from 27% from threes to 41, which is like substantial, with taking 2 more threes per game. Like that's not nothing.
Skyrocketed in his percentage.
And he got better.
Yeah.
I know. So for me, he's the most improved. He led a Knicks team to the 4th seed. But I have a couple honorable mentions. One of them is who's the kid on the Raptors? Skinny kid, Chris Boucher. He's one of them. Yeah. Chris Boucher, he's one of them. And I would probably have to say Mikal Bridges. That'd be my third one.
Yeah. We got to stop agreeing. This is no fun.
I know. It's all right. We'll see. Oh, you do?
But yeah. He obviously leading the Knicks their first time in playoffs in 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
Leading to a 4 seed with the numbers he's been putting up. But
I know.
Behind him, I also think Jeremy Grant can get some love with that award as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, good take.
Yeah. I was really confused at the money he got from Detroit And I wasn't really sure if he was worth $20 million a year, but he clearly proved.
Turns out he might be undervalued.
Team's more comfortable, with the ball in his hand, leading the offense, and he seems to get to his spots pretty well. Jeremy Grant, he took a big leap, bigger than I think I expected or anyone expected. I'm not really sure what I expected from him in Detroit, but I still don't really see him as a number one option. Yeah, I think he'd be more as a number two or number three.
Yeah,
just he lacks the attention that defenses give number one options. He kind of lacks that ability to make the people around him better.
Yeah.
But I mean, going from 12 points a game to 20 plus.
And still an amazing defender,
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, his defense is going to take a little bit of a dip when you take on more of an offensive load.
of course, yeah, your energy levels are only so high.
But I mean, if the Pistons ever get in the playoffs again and he's still around, he'll be a fine piece for them. And then I had to throw in a little bit more. This hurts me. I got to give a Celtic a little bit of love, but Jaylen Brown.
I really, really like Jaylen Brown as a player.
So much.
I like Tatum as well, but I really like Jaylen Brown, man.
He's such a good player.
He's a good player. He seems like a really good dude too, which I really appreciate. You know what I mean? Like when these athletes are just, you can tell they're good people. It makes you want to root for them more. That's how I see it, at least. You know what I mean? He just seems like an overall good dude. All right. Well, yeah, but they're Danny Ainge is such an in a horrible GM. He makes all the wrong moves, signed Kemba for a bunch of money, and now they're going to be, they're a mess. They're terrible. So we have Julius Randle, most improved, 6 man.
All right, I think we're going to finally get into a little bit of this.
Go for it. You go first.
I got Joe Ingles of the Utah
Jazz. Okay. I don't dislike that, by the way.
Yeah, I feel so. I think the consensus around the 6-man conversation is leaning more towards Jordan Clarkson, which I think is.
I have Jordan Clarkson.
I like Jordan a lot. He is clearly the perfect spark plug off the bench. He'll score at will. He's streaky, but that's what you get from a guy like him. He's high volume.
Yeah, I mean, he's scoring 18 points per game this season, which is his career high too.
Yeah.
And we always knew he had it in him years ago.
Oh yeah, Joe Ingles though. I mean, 12 points a game, 3.5 rebounds a game, 4.7 assists. I think he broke the record for highest true shooting percentage in one full season.
Yeah.
He's shooting 45% from three, 49% from the field, and 84% from the line.
He's just he's a player you want on your team and you hate to play against him. He's that type of dude.
He doesn't look like an athlete. He's not, he's not built. He's not.
He looks like a plumber.
Yeah, honestly, he does.
Looks like a plumber with amazing form on his jumper. The only thing that I would poke a hole in your argument, because I don't dislike your pick, I think he started too many games. I think that's the only reason why I wouldn't give him 6 man, because he started 30 games out of 67, so almost half of his games were as a starter. That's the only reason why I wouldn't give him 6 man, because Clarkson's only started 1 game.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And that's literally the only reason why. But at the same time, Lamar won 6 man of the year starting, I believe, 20 or 30 games. So
yeah, I think you have to consider, it's still a season amid a pandemic, and there's injuries and the short turnaround on the season. So they did have to plug him into the starting lineup a lot.
Yep. I agree.
Because of COVID protocols. So
and the Jazz got hit pretty hard with it too.
Yeah. So
I think the Jazz and the Magic got hit the most with it, if I'm not mistaken.
Mavericks got it pretty bad.
Memphis also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I don't dislike your pick. I'm cool with that. The Jazz were just a good team all year. They had a lot of good pieces, so I can understand why they had 2. I didn't really have any other options for 6 man, to be honest.
I got 2 of them.
What do you got?
I got Jalen Brunson of the Mavericks, and I got to give love to D Rose.
Yeah, D Rose. I forgot D Rose. Yeah, I could see that one. Yeah. Honestly, if he won it, I think it'd be deserved. I think Clarkson's going to win it, but I could see a situation in which D Rose wins it too.
Yeah, I think just based off of media talking points and things like that, people are going to lean Clarkson because the numbers on paper are just,
Yeah, he had a great season. He had his percentages were good, and
absolutely. And,
All right.
I mean, Jalen Brunson, 12.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists.
Just another Villanova guard, dude. Those guys just go in there.
Yeah.
They play really good. They come from a great system coached by Jay Wright. As much as it pains me to say that because of 2017 when they I don't even have to say it. You already know.
You can.
No, I don't
know.
Yeah, we'll move on. Yeah. So defensive player of the year. This one was simple for me. Okay. I cannot give this award to Rudy Gobert because he gets baked by every single guard. So I'm going to give it to the one guy this season besides another player, which is my honorable mention, who can guard all 5 positions. It's Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is defensive player of the year. He just is. He's the best defender on the court at all times. The reason why Ben Simmons plays so much is because he's a great defender. He can't score, right? He's not a good shooter. He's out there because he's amazing on defense. He plays hard every single possession. And for an all NBA type player, which I'm not saying he is, but he's an all-star every year, since the last 3-4 years, he plays hard. Like he's the last guy grinding it out on the bench. And I admire that about him. He plays defense hard, dude.
Oh yeah.
And my honorable mention is Bam Adebayo. Because I love Bam Adebayo. That's another guy that guards all 5 positions.
Yep. Yeah. I also have Ben. He can pick up your smallest, quickest point guard and not skip a beat. And he can switch onto a big man and hold his own in the post.
He's so physically gifted.
He's a menace in passing lanes. He can jump from, he could be on the perimeter and help clog the paint and throw a shot back into the stands. And,
he's amazing defensively. If he does not win it this year, they might as well just call it the best center in the league award.
Yeah.
Because that's because this is Ben Simmons' award this year. He was so good defensively this year. He's a main reason why, the Sixers are top seed in the East.
Yeah.
He just is.
Yeah, obviously, rim protection matters, which is why I think Rudy Gobert is in the conversation every year. I have him. He
does alter a lot of shots, though, not just blocks. He alters a ton. But he can't guard guards or forwards.
Rim protection includes altering shots and, making guys think twice. You see a lot of guys get into the paint and end up kicking the ball out because it looks like they might have a layup, but they see Rudy standing around the rim.
Yeah, dude's fucking 7'3". He can touch the rim without jumping like Boban,
Yeah, but versatility matters. I mean,
we call him Senor COVID.
Best defender. He shut down the entire league.
The whole league and the world, dude. All right, so let's get into the defensive teams. We won't go too much in depth on these ones. We'll give each other our first teams. We'll talk briefly about it, and then we'll give our second teams, and then we'll talk about it as a whole. So you want to give your first team first? Go ahead.
Yep. So at the guard positions, they still have it broken down: 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center. So at the guard positions, I have Ben Simmons, I have Jimmy Butler. At my forward spots, I have Giannis and Bam, and at center, I have Rudy Gobert.
Okay.
It pained me to put Rudy first team. I would have put Embiid first team, but I feel like games played is such a huge factor.
I completely agree, and that's the reason why I did it too. Because Embiid's a better defender this year because he can guard more people than Rudy can. But Rudy didn't miss a game, except for a couple with load management. So I have Rudy as center. I have I have Ben Simmons. I have Drew Holiday, Bam Adebayo, and Draymond Green. The reason why I have Draymond Green in there, the Warriors' defense the last 2 months was amazing. And a lot of that is because of what Draymond Green does team defensively.
Draymond is an amazing defender still.
So good defender. He's another guy, guards all 5 positions. He was guarding Anthony Davis last night and doing well on him.
And he's so smart. He sees things, he calls out plays as they're happening. And
I honestly don't think he gets enough credit for how smart of a basketball player he is.
He does.
I think and he's a very, very smart basketball player.
He is. It's fun to make jokes about him, which
it is.
A lot of players like
his
that.
Backpack shooting and all that, but he's a smart basketball player.
He's so smart. I mean, his offense has taken a big dip. He's just,
of course,
he's mainly out there just to facilitate now and set good screens and things like
that. Yeah, and he's cool with that.
Lost a step. Yeah.
No, he has not lost a step. All right, second team, go for it.
So at my guards, I have Drew.
Okay.
I think my second guard is a little bit of a surprise because I'm not sure how I feel about this. At my forwards, I have Draymond, Mcconnell Bridges, and then
nice.
Center, I have Embiid.
Okay.
Now my second
that's close.
Spot, my second guard spot, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it. I have Matisse Thybulle.
That's who I got.
Dude,
Matisse Thybulle is an amazing defender. Okay, I'll give you mine. I have Joel Embiid, Mickael Bridges, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jimmy Butler, and Matisse Thybulle. That's my 5. Dude, Matisse Thybulle is amazing defensively. That's why he's out there. He can't shoot. He's a dog out there. Between him and Embiid and Simmons, that's why the Sixers were so good. And then Green also.
Defense, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not nothing.
Yeah. I mean, he only plays, I think it's 20 minutes a game, but his per 36 numbers are outrageous and
insane.
I think he averages total blocks and steals per 36.
In fantasy basketball, I would pick him up every once in a while when I needed steals, just because they're like every once in a while he'd go up for 3 or 4 and like a couple blocks. Every time. It was a sure thing, dude. But no, that's dude. We're very insane. We didn't even talk about any of this before we did it. This is kind of funny.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions. You know what's funny is if LeBron had played the full season, I would have put LeBron on there.
He would have been in an all defensive team.
I would have put LeBron in there for sure. He was playing amazing defensively to start the season. Yep. Isn't it funny how we don't put Paul George or Kawhi in there anymore? Because they were locks for years.
They were. And, it's not to say they're bad defenders now. It's just they're nowhere.
They take too many games off.
What they're talked to, yeah. And
they take too many games off.
Yeah. I mean, they're not liabilities at all.
No, they're not. Not at all.
They're still going to hold their own. But
of course,
they're just not the kind of perimeter monsters that they were before. And
yeah,
I mean, a lot of that the Clippers are. I don't think they're taking the regular season as serious as other teams are.
Well, they tanked the last 2 games so they wouldn't have to be on the same side of the bracket. Yeah, pussies, just absolute bitches. Dude, talk about being in your head, man. It's all right. They'll lose in the second round anyways.
I had a couple honorable mentions.
Yeah, let me know.
Also, OG Anunoby.
Big OG Anunoby fan.
Another guy who came down to games played. He didn't have a lot of games under his belt.
Not enough games played.
I mean, he was good enough to make those teams, but I mean, the games played could have been pushed aside if he had been, better.
Yeah,
it's hard to do when you're playing the level he is. But Miles Turner as well.
I thought I was going to put him in if he didn't get injured. The problem is he's not a good defender. He's really not. He's just a good shot blocker. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's good.
If he had played the full season, I would have put him in second team for sure.
Yeah, that's why I think he's more of an honorable mention. He's good on paper. He's a good shot blocker, but and he alters shots at the rim.
I got another one. I had 2, both from the Pacers. Malcolm Brogdon. Okay. And you're gonna laugh, but this is true. TJ McConnell.
No, TJ McConnell's amazing.
TJ McConnell's an amazing defender. He is annoying as hell. He had a game where he had 10 steals, dude. Yeah. That's not by accident. Like that's just dude, that's tough. But no, he was not. If there was a third team, he would have been on it for sure. I couldn't put him above Matisse or any of those guys. I just couldn't.
There should be an honorary spot for Alex Caruso just because he's.
Dude, I thought about putting him on there too, but I'm trying to go for what I think is actually going to get the win. In terms of like if we predict this shit correctly, Caruso is such an amazing one-on-one and team defender. He did so good against Curry. Curry still had 37. He was outrageous last night.
Which is why if the Warriors win tomorrow, the Jazz are in trouble.
They're in deep shit because the Warriors are playing good. They look good last night. Oh yeah. I can't wait till Klay comes back. Jesus, the NBA misses Klay.
Basketball needs him.
Yeah, basketball needs it. Love Klay. He's just a meme. All right, so that was fun. I like that. So the rookie teams, we can just kind of blow through this one pretty quick.
Yeah.
So go ahead, give your first team.
First team, LaMelo, obviously.
Yep.
Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton. I have Jayshawn Tate and Isaiah Stewart rounding it.
I have the same exact top 5.
Oh, my God.
Same exact top 5. So I'll go for my second team. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Cole Anthony.
Okay.
Sadiq Bey.
Okay.
Cole. Why did I put Cole Anthony twice? I don't have a 5th one then.
Okay.
I meant to put. I know who it was. That's what I meant to put. So Cole Anthony, Sadiq Bey, Emmanuel Quickly. Alexei Pokusevsky.
You got Poku.
I got to put Poku in there. And he didn't play the full season, but the last 2 months of the season, he was outrageous. He was on my fantasy team. Kenyon Martin Jr. Kenyon Martin Jr. is good. He has, I think, more bounce than his dad had, which is saying something. He's got a clean jumper, good defender. He plays angry, which I love. Mm-hmm. So I was a big fan of his. And in a weak, draft class, I had to put him in there. He played so good.
We have some differences on this one. So I have Emmanuel Quickly,
of course.
Sadiq Bey.
Yep.
Desmond Bane.
I like that one for Grizzlies.
Desmond Bane. I have Jaden McDaniels and then Xavier Tillman.
Yeah. Jaden. I thought about McDaniels too. I thought those. I mean, honestly, those aren't bad. The second team for rookie this year was tough. There just weren't that many good rookies. It was like the top 3 and then just a drop off.
I don't think it was a matter of not many good. I think there was just so many who were at similar levels. Because
that's
a lot of good
that's
players
fair.
in this rookie class.
That's fair. I agree with that. Because
Tyrese
Maxey is even an option.
Yeah, I have him honorable mentions. So I have, just to name off a few. I have him. I have Cole Anthony. Isaac Okoro.
Isaac Okoro surprised me, actually.
Yeah,
he's pretty decent.
He came on late in the season.
He's pretty decent.
He could be a solid player.
Pretty decent.
Kiki.
For the Magic.
Real good. Yeah.
Yeah, he was drafted last year, and he missed his whole rookie season. So it's technically his rookie season. He was pretty good. I liked him. Yeah. I think he's Florida State, if I'm not correct.
One guy who we kind of spent 10 minutes just yelling at, Patrick Williams.
Yeah. He actually turned out to not be that bad. I just still think he was overdrafted.
Yeah, the pick was high, but he's a good player. He's a good defender.
He's number 5, right? He was drafted 5th, I believe. Yeah, I believe he was 5th.
And I also have KJ Martin, and I also have Poku in all caps on my honorable mention.
Poku. Okay, I'm glad we both feel the same way about Poku. Poku's fantastic. I'm a big Poku guy. He's what we wanted Kristaps Porzingis to be.
He's the 7-footer who weighs 190, and he snakes pick and rolls at the top of the key, which is
he plays. He's got the handle of a point guard. He's unreal. He's unreal. Okay, I don't get it either. All right, let's get into this all NBA debate. Okay, we're gonna go first. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. Do second, and then I think the first and the second are gonna be kind of similar. The third is more room for interpretation. I think.
I think first team, it's all locks at this point, and I think we're gonna have the same guys. Maybe one difference, but.
You want me to go first? Because they're doing front court and back court now. You know that, right?
They did a weird thing where they had like Jokic and Embiid eligible at forward.
Yes.
I couldn't get myself to do that.
I did it for the specific reason of the pod. I had to do it because my 3 main MVP candidates. Spoiler: it's Steph Curry, Jokic, and Embiid. Those are the 3 best players this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I had to put Embiid on there, and the NBA gave me the opt-out to be able to do that. So I did it. So my top 5.
You're a coward.
I am a coward, bro. I just had to do it. So I have Nikola Jokic, obviously. Yeah. Dylan will be happy somewhere. I have Steph Curry, who might have played his best season ever, better than his MVP seasons. He was on God mode. There's no one on that team. He was just shooting things. It was honestly unbelievable. I have Embiid, obviously. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then I have Luka, obviously, and then I have Dame. Those are my 5.
Okay.
So
Steph, Dame, Luka, Embiid, and Jokic.
Yep.
All right. Coward.
Who do you got? Who do you got?
The forward spot.
Of course, I have to, man.
I have 4 of the same. I have Steph, Dame, Luka, Jokic, and then at the other forward spot, I have Giannis.
Yeah, that's fair.
Amazing.
Giannis it's funny. His stats honestly didn't go down, but he won 2 years in a row, so he's not getting the notoriety anymore. Plus, the NBA is a lot about storylines, and I feel like they were supposed to make the finals the last 2 years, and they didn't. So now the media is not going to cover him as much anymore. That's just how it works. On to the next cycle,
He's still
Giannis is another one of those dudes that I just love. Right? He's just a good dude.
What you want in a player, yeah.
Yep, plays hard, loves his teammates. But yeah, so no, I don't have – it's funny. Dame had a great season. Dame always has a good season.
Oh, yeah.
Luka's just ridiculous. Get that man some help before he gets killed. Like, seriously, get that man – his usage rate was way too high this year. I didn't – Porzingis ain't it. They don't like each other either, I don't think. No. Have you seen them play? I don't think they get along.
There's no real chemistry there.
No, I don't think – I think Porzingis is jealous that Luka gets all the attention, but rightfully so. Luka's fucking –
he's better.
He's Larry Bird.
He's just better.
He's Larry Bird, but in today's game. That's what he is.
Yeah, he's
good. Second team.
I just couldn't get myself to use one of those forward spots on NBA.
Oh, I wasn't going to, but when I found out it was an option, I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm going to do that." Like, I gotta represent, man. All right, so second team. Yeah, I know. So second team, I have Giannis.
Okay.
I have Jimmy Butler. I have Chris Paul. I have Kawhi Leonard, and this one will probably shock you. I have Kyrie Irving.
Oh wow.
I have Kyrie.
I didn't expect you to have him that high.
I had to put him in there because he's the only net that I have in here because everyone else was injured. And I can't put James Harden anywhere because he tanked the first month of the season. He doesn't deserve any awards. He can fuck off. Like, in all seriousness, he can fuck off. He gave up. You know what I mean?
I know your sentiments on Harden are
yeah, I can't. You and I, at least we can agree on that. Harden sucks. You just can't stand Harden.
Yeah.
He's an amazing player. I can't
he's an
stand.
player, but I
can't stand him. And Kyrie just annoys me more now. Kyrie might be the best ball handler we've ever seen. Okay, let's just say maybe one of the best finishers at the rim we've ever seen. Like he's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
I just don't like that he quits on his team every once in a while, goes away for a couple of days, and doesn't say anything. Like, if you're going to take time off, tell the team.
Here's my thoughts on that.
Okay, go ahead.
His job. Use their PTO. Just use it.
Okay. They have a summer. They have a summer off, like 3 months.
I love Kyrie, man. I can't get myself to. I mean, there is a little phase where I was like, this dude's kind of weird, but I mean, when you see
he's just doing him, I guess. But when he's playing, he's amazing.
He's outrageous.
Yeah. Wait. Who's your five? Who's your five besides Joel Embiid? Joel Embiid's your number one, right?
Joel Embiid's at center for me.
Okay.
Again, I'm sticking to the traditional 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center. So then I got Randall and Kawhi at my forwards.
Okay.
Then Jimmy and CP3 at my guards.
I like it. Yeah. CP3, it's funny. Jimmy's amazing. I'm a huge Jimmy Butler fan, dude.
He's putting up he's running the offense now to a degree that he hasn't before.
Oh, dude.
His playmaking has taken off to a level I don't think anyone has really seen.
All he needed to do was become a member of the Miami Heat, and because that's a team where they just work hard, and that's all he's about is working hard.
That's all he wants to do.
And it's a perfect fit of player and team. I don't think there's ever been a better fit in NBA history, to be honest.
Yeah, and he's still not, some outrageous shooter. He's not shooting at some amazing clip, but he still makes teams pay for leaving him alone in the corner.
Yep.
He makes cuts off the ball.
Yep.
He keeps the offense flowing. He's kind of like not Steph-like in terms of his shooting, but Steph-like, he's not going to just stand in the corner if teams are, just sagging off him. He's not going to give the defense an extra defender to play with. He's going to
exactly. Yeah.
He's going to keep the defense moving. He's going to keep things in motion, and I think he had an amazing season. I don't think he got enough recognition for.
I don't think so either.
Defensively and offensively,
And then for me, honestly, because I don't like Chris Paul, I just don't. I still don't like Chris Paul. Chris Paul had a great season, dude. For year 34, however old he is, 34, 35, I don't know how old he is. He had a the numbers aren't exactly – they're pretty typical Chris Paul numbers, right? 18 and 9, somewhere in there, a couple steals. But, he really molded this young team and made them tough, which I think is what they needed. He was an extension of Monty Williams on the court because, Monty coached him in New Orleans.
Right. When he got
exactly. So that's all probably going to come full circle, which is cool. So Chris Paul, I feel like, is just in a situation where he feels comfortable. He doesn't have to compete with anybody, and he has the ear of every single young player on his team.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been easy having to deal with James Harden and then Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan and all the all the personalities he's dealt with over the last 5-6 years.
Right.
This is probably a nice I think he actually enjoyed being in Oklahoma City last year too.
Oh, yeah.
For the same reason. He looked like he was having fun last year. He had fun this year. I think that this is probably the most fun he's had in his career, except for the maybe 2 years in New Orleans.
This is I've kind of transitioned over into the twilight years of an athlete. Just appreciating who he is, what he's brought to the game, and I think these last 2 years in Oklahoma City and then in Phoenix I think it showed me that it's not that I wasn't a fan of him. It was just the personalities around him that I kind of.
No, that's fair. Who do you think it was then? Because I have the same which guy is it that was around these guys that we couldn't stand? Is it James Harden? Was it Doc Rivers? I think it's Doc.
It was Clippers Blake Griffin.
Yeah, Clippers Blake Griffin sucked.
It was just Clippers in general.
Yeah, it still is.
The whole fiasco where Doc brought in Austin and.
Oh God.
I didn't like that group. I didn't enjoy them. I mean, I enjoyed watching them play. Obviously, who didn't? But personality-wise, and then in Houston, I think it was a James Harden thing.
James
and a
Harden.
Mike D'Antoni thing. It's not that Mike D'Antoni, I have my own beef for his Laker tenure.
Mr. Pringle.
Yeah, but no, I think these last couple of years have just kind of shown us who he is as a how the younger generation reveres him and how they look up to him, and he's moved the game forward a lot, and he's been so important for the game of basketball over his career.
Is he a top 3 point guard for you? Top 4 point guard? Top 5 point guard?
All time.
All time.
I don't want to put an exact number. I'm just going to say in general, top 10.
So I got it like this. I got Magic, John Stockton, and then I got, honestly, I think Chris Paul's in that top 5 for me. Like with original Isaiah Thomas, and then probably Steve Nash.
Yeah, I think he's ahead of Steve Nash all time.
And then I forgot about Steph too. Yeah. Yeah. So Chris Paul's ahead of Steve Nash for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and then Chris. I don't want to do this to you, but Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook all time. Answer it now.
Chris Paul.
Okay, that's fair. You can go.
Chris Paul. Chris Paul. Can you?
Yeah, I think you can.
Okay, records wise, Westbrook has way more records, right? Yeah. Actually, technically speaking, Westbrook has more success than Chris Paul does too.
Yeah.
Because Westbrook's been to a finals, Chris Paul hasn't. Westbrook's been to a conference finals twice, right? 2 or 3 times, definitely twice. Twice. Chris Paul hasn't gotten out of the second round.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could argue the case that Westbrook's had a more successful career. That actually is kind of a fun argument. Who's had a better career, Chris Paul or Westbrook? That there is, because they were traded for each other and all that.
Because Chris Paul back in New Orleans, he had pretty good teams around him.
He did.
He had a season where he could have won MVP. I think that was 2006 or 7.
It was the season in which I think Nowitzki won the MVP.
Yeah, was that the Katrina season?
It was the year after the Katrina season, because that's a year Kobe should have won another MVP, but they gave it to Dirk. Mm-hmm. But Chris Paul was also right there.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at Westbrook. He's gone to a finals and to 2 conference finals, but I mean, he played with Kevin Durant, James Harden.
He's been kind of lucky with the people he's played with.
But then you look at also, they both have taken teams that probably shouldn't have made it to the playoffs, and with OKC last year, and then the Thunder in Westbrook's MVP year, and what he's done with the Wizards this year.
All right, you want to just get in? Let's get into it right now. So third team, because we're kind of we're knocking on the door of it right now. Let's get into it. So I'll go first. Okay, this is my third team. I have Jason Tatum, because I got to include a Celtic in there, and it was either Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum's better right now. I think he means more to that team. So I have Jason Tatum. I have Rudy Gobert, unfortunately. We have to have a Jazz in there, though, dude. We have to have a Jazz player in there. I got to put one in there, so I put in Rudy Gobert. I have Julius Randle. He's the reason why the Knicks are the 4th seed. Let's just call it what it is. Okay, I have LeBron James in the third team. If LeBron doesn't misses like a month less, he's first team for me.
Yeah.
He really is. And then my 5th spot on my third team is Russell Westbrook. He's my third spot. Okay, I actually broke down some numbers and I looked through it. Okay.
Russ supremacy.
The second half of the season, the Wizards were unreal. Like, they were one of the hottest teams, probably the hottest team in the East, and one of the 2 or 3 hottest teams in basketball as a whole. And that was because Westbrook decided that he wanted to finally play some efficient basketball and played really, really well. He still had those moments, and I saw them happen, where he'll do some weird shit in the final couple minutes of a basketball game, which he always does. That's what he does.
That's what you get with Russ.
It's what you get with Russ.
It's part of the experience.
But this was the first time I kind of just admired what he did the second half of the season, and I enjoyed it. Because if he doesn't play that way, they don't make the 8th seed. They were down. I think they were like, at one point they were, I think, almost 15 or 18 games below 500. They were down and out.
They had, I think, a 4% chance at the beginning of April or something like that to make even the play, just the play. Not even the
I can honestly say this. This is the first season where Westbrook was getting triple doubles, and I genuinely think that he needed to get them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have won games. I don't think I could have said that before.
He was putting up 20 rebounds.
Yeah,
20
I know.
Games
those are insane.
Regularly.
Yeah, he averaged 22 points, 12 assists, 11 and a half rebounds. Like, that's That's not nothing, you know. His percentages what's his 3-point percentage was 31%, the best he's had in like 3 years. So that's not horrible for him. His free throw percentage was at 65%, so that's not good. He's gotten worse at free throws during his career because he was like an 80%er. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, his shot's never been that dependable.
His turnovers are 5 per game. You know, it's still getting a lot of – but that team is not good. Okay? It's him and Bradley Beal against the world. Because Bradley Beal's not even that good. I mean, let's just call it what it is. The dude averaged 31 points per game, and he's not on my – is he on one of your 3 All-NBA teams?
He's battling for a spot. I'm torn between him and
But is he there?
He's not.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. He averages 31 points per game, and he's not on any of our 3 All-NBA teams. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just think that I don't know. There's something that I'm missing with Bradley Beal. I do like him though. I like Bradley Beal. I'm not saying I don't like him. No. Okay. So what's your third team?
So I also have Gobert at center.
Okay.
Like you said, just got to put him there.
Got to put a Jazz there. Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Then I got Paul George at 1 forward.
Okay. I thought about that one.
The other forward.
Yep. Smart man.
Just real quick on LeBron. LeBron was an MVP candidate before he went down. I'm not saying
he was going to win the MVP for sure.
I don't know if he was the front runner. He was in the running. Like he was a top
yes.
MVP candidate.
It was him and Embiid. Those were the two.
Jokic. I feel like Jokic was always in the mix, but I mean that's aside from the fact that I think
yes.
All NBA is not it's not an award that comes down to you have to play as many games as you possibly can to get it. I mean, LeBron is LeBron. He still affected the team in probably better than anybody else could when he was playing and when he was healthy. So I feel like he deserves that spot regardless. Then I have Kyrie, and I think I'm leaning Russ. I also have Brad Beal here. I have him. It's split between the two, but I think Russ is he's insane.
Okay, think about it this way. Okay, let's say they have John Wall on that team, and John Wall is healthy on that Wizards team with Bradley Beal. You take off Russell Westbrook. Do the Wizards make the 8th seed with John Wall as the point guard instead of Russell Westbrook?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, that's why.
This version of John Wall, no.
No, he's fully healthy. He's this way he was 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, no, still no.
I know. That's the only reason why I think Russell Westbrook deserves third team and not John Wall or not Bradley Beal.
I love John Wall.
So did I.
That's not an indictment on him at all. He just brings out another level in the teams that he's on. And
he turned Daniel Gafford into an everyday name.
Dude, Daniel Gafford looks good, and I can't tell.
Also on my fantasy team, GM of the year.
A product of Russ's just pure genius.
It's a product of Russ.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's just an athletic guy. He's a great defender.
He's a good defender.
Yeah,
too.
That's a deep cut. Daniel Gafford.
That was a good under the radar pickup in that Bulls trade.
Oh, dude, I know they did well on that one.
So yeah, I think I have some honorable mentions though. Bam, I feel like you could.
Yeah, Bam, I thought about that. Yeah, Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown could also make it. Zion
Booker
had an insane season.
No, I can't have Zion.
He'll be there eventually.
He will. It's just
crazy numbers.
I know.
Devin Booker, Trae Young, guys like
that.
Yep.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm not a big Donovan guy, but yeah, he could get all 13. He could get 13.
What about Terry Rozier?
No,
they weren't good enough. Oh, Vucevic or Domantas Sabonis. Those are guys.
I think Sabonis.
Sabonis is great.
A 13 spot. It's just there's a lot of guys ahead of him at his position.
I know, but he's an amazingly underrated player.
Yeah.
He has a ton of skill.
Yeah.
I know. He really is. And then obviously KD was probably really close, just didn't play enough games.
Yeah, KD. I mean, obviously he's still Kevin Durant. He could
still Kevin Durant.
Do whatever he wants on the court. So
they just not playing enough games.
That not healthy this year, and it sucks. But
I know.
Yeah, those are my.
Oh no, I like. All right, so let's wrap this thing up with MVP. Okay. This year, MVP was different because, like you said earlier, we had a 3-horse race. It was, Joel Embiid, LeBron James, and, Nikola Jokic. For when they were all healthy, those were the 3 guys, right? Like, we can agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so as, then LeBron went down, Joel went down, and, Jokic kind of remained, and he was healthy the entire time. And then a couple other names popped up. Steph's name popped up. For me, Steph's number 2 this season because he was just outrageous. And then I even thought about, this is crazy, I thought about Julius Randle in the MVP conversation.
I mean, if they had
I really did.
1 through 5 ranking, he'd make it that top.
He'd be top 5.
He'd make it in the top 5.
He was that important, I think, this year. And then obviously Luka would probably be up there too. Dame would probably be up there. But for me, the winner is Nikola Jokic.
I also have.
They lost Jamal Murray about a month and a half ago. They actually continued to win the same amount of games. It's Jokic is a player that we've never seen before. He might be, he definitely is. He's the greatest passing big man we've ever seen. He plays like a point guard.
Without a doubt.
He's got an amazing jump shot that's unguardable. It's Dirk-esque with no jump, no knee up. It's just way over his head. And, he's an amazing player. He's more lean now. He's moving around a lot better. He's a wizard with the basketball. He is such a fun player to watch. And he's just goofy as shit.
You can't take any plays off watching him.
No.
Because he might do something that just makes your eyes
amazing.
He's out.
He's very Magic Johnson-esque in all seriousness.
Yeah. He's a great showman.
Oh my God. He's fun to watch, dude.
A big, just goofball of a guy that he is. He's
the doughboy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I also have Jokic winning MVP.
My
rankings are a little bit different. I had Embiid second and Steph third.
Embiid was third for me.
Being kind of the second anchor, I say second because Ben is just outrageous on defense. But second anchor to that Philly defense.
Yeah, I agree.
And his shooting splits were insane.
He's a great shooter.
He shot over 40% from 3 this year.
I know.
Which was I don't think he was ever over 35, 36%.
I can actually check you on that one right now real quick. Let me see. I'm curious myself now. I can't move forward. This season he was 37% this year, and it's his best percentage he's ever had in his career this year.
Yeah. For
being a 7-footer that's completely dominant, super strong, amazing. Hakeem, Olajuwon post moves. That's his numbers are crazy. 28.5 points, 1.5 blocks, 1 steal, 11 rebounds. He shot 85% from the free throw line at 7'1".
Yeah, he had a 30 player efficiency rating.
He's
something outrageous like that.
Yeah, he's. That's another thing I wanted to say for Westbrook. I didn't mean to. I got to cut back.
Please.
So
I can always talk Westbrook.
Okay, so Westbrook's MVP year. Okay, he had the highest usage percentage of any player ever, at 40%, which is a lot. Okay, and that's why I always say his usage rate is really high. But this year he was only 12th in the NBA, which for him is efficient as hell, especially with the numbers he was putting up. That when I saw that, I was Luka was at 38, and I was get this man some help. For the love of God, get this man some help. Mm-hmm. But no, that's why I admired Westbrook's stats more this year, because his usage rate was down.
Yeah.
So he was able to put the same amount of numbers, but he wasn't trying to play hero ball every single possession. So I actually admired that. That was the first time I think he's ever done that since he left KD.
So I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know his clutch stats
were better this year.
Were ridiculous.
They were better this year. He had a good season.
I think he had some of the best clutch stats, him and Dame. But just touching on some of the other MVP candidates. I mean, obviously Steph. He had an otherworldly type.
Unbelievable.
Season. I don't know how he got that team. I mean, the team itself, you could tell the system they have in place where everything's just kind of. An even flow on offense, even though it's a really unpredictable offense.
Yeah,
they made it work. Andrew Wiggins was, to his credit, really good this year for them. I didn't think he would have.
I traded for him. Didn't I trade him from you?
No,
I got him from Doug. That's who it was.
Yeah. I think he was great for them. I didn't think
he was great.
He'd have this kind of season. He was efficient, really good on defense, and you saw him last night. He was. I think he has something to prove against LeBron too. LeBron traded him back in 2014. So they just drafted that kid. The next day, now we want Kevin Love. Oh, okay. The biggest smile on his face, and next thing
I know.
He's in cold ass Minnesota.
Rough.
Dame had made a case for himself in the season, but putting up the numbers that he was and shouldering the load that he did, it's hard to sustain that.
Yeah.
Injuries kind of ravaged that team again with Nurkic being out, with CJ being out after having a great start.
You know what's funny is I think they got to get rid of the coach. I think Terry Stotts is kind of done. That team has too much talent to not be better than what they are.
I think it can go back to the front office a bit. They haven't really made any big acquisitions. They haven't really tried to push for any.
Yeah, but they're kind of stuck salary cap wise because of that big contract they gave to CJ and the one they gave to Dame too. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of stuck. Even with Nurkic too, I think he's due for a salary contract extension as well.
Yeah, but I mean, they've never really made a push to make a big move to kind of.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
they got Nurkic from Denver, which was good. He's a good defender, good enough on offense, a good pick and roll guy with Dame.
Yep.
But they just never really got many good pieces around them. They drafted Zach Collins, who's a ghost at this point, nowhere to be found.
That guy has maybe, let's say, most punchable face in the NBA. Think he's up there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think he's got the most punchable face.
I think TJ McConnell is maybe.
Yeah, McConnell's got that too.
I like watching him play, but.
No, but I honestly think it's Zach Collins or Myers Leonard, but he's not in the NBA anymore.
Oh, man. What a way to go.
That's tough, man. He's gone. He'll never play again. That was it. That's tough.
Man, he got traded for the ghost of Trevor Ariza, who is pretty good.
I know. What are they doing over there? They got him and Andre Iguodala and all these randoms and Victor Oladipo, who needs to retire at this point. And
poor Victor. He should have taken. He had 2-3 chances to get good contract extensions.
I know.
I feel bad for the guy.
I know. So, no, we actually agreed more on these lists than I thought we were going to. Yeah. I think that just points to the fact that, this season wasn't exactly what we all envisioned it as. There was a lot of things that happened, Basically, if you stayed the course and you played a majority of your games, you're going to win these awards. That's kind of how it ended up, which is I think why it was a little bit more predictable. And we'll see how we do when the awards are given out. I'm curious. We'll see who gets the most points. So that'll be kind of fun.
You want to just hit some quick playoff predictions?
Yeah, let's do it real quick.
It's that time of year. All right,
let's do it.
So all the seedings are set now, obviously.
Let's do it.
So we got our one versus. Oh, actually, no, not all the seedings are set up. I think Golden State is gonna beat out Memphis.
Yeah.
So, Utah versus Golden State. That series could be fun. I think ultimately Utah will win, but I think the Warriors will give them a good 6, maybe 7 games.
I think the Warriors are gonna win.
You think they would win?
Yeah.
How many games?
6.
6.
Yeah, if Donovan Mitchell isn't playing, I give the Warriors a solid chance because the playoffs are different than the regular season. We all know that.
They are.
It's a different type of animal. The best players, they rise to the top. You know what I mean? And Steph's done this. Draymond's done this. They're gonna lead that team. The ghost of Klay Thompson is gonna be somewhere on that court, just draining threes.
It might just take over the body of Jordan Poole. Coming off the bench.
Shout out to you, Tommy. Every time I say a Michigan player on the pod, I always have to shout out Tommy. I have to. It just has to happen.
If the Warriors could somehow force that to 7, then anything could happen. Especially when you have Steph on your team.
Of course.
Lakers, I think, will get Phoenix out in 5. And
I got him in 5.
I think it's just a bad matchup. The Lakers are a bad matchup for anybody.
Everyone. No one wanted to play them.
Obviously, any team with LeBron and Anthony Davis is going to be hell to go up against.
And with Caruso and KCP and Wes Matthews played good, and Drummond if he ever figures his shit out, and Gasol, and we're stacked. All 15 guys are good.
Yeah.
You want to play Devontae Kaycock, our 2-guard Jared Dudley? Go ahead, get in there.
No MCL.
No MCL. I know.
Denver versus Portland. I think even though I think Denver's pulling out that series in 6, maybe 7.
Honestly, I don't think that Denver's going to win that series. Sorry, Dylan. I think that the loss of Jamal Murray will hurt them in the playoffs finally.
I would have said, if I had known this was a matchup at the beginning of Murray's injury, I would have said the same thing. But Michael Porter Jr. is –
oh, he's great. He's great. He is who we thought he was. And then the addition of Aaron Gordon is nice. Give it next year, the Nuggets are a 1 or 2 seed, without a doubt. with a full season of who they got, they're an amazing team. They have a great backup point guard in what's that kid's name? Monte Morris? No, not Campazzo. Not Campazzo. No Campazzo love.
Hey,
we don't get no Campazzo love.
That guy's a good passer. He's competitive on defense. He does what he can.
God, he's like an open door defensively. Dude's like 5'3", 106 pounds.
I still think Denver could come out of that series.
Yeah, it'll be a fun series. It could be 7 games. I can see that.
Clippers, Dallas.
You
got Dallas. Wow.
Yeah. Last year, the only reason why the Mavericks lost is because the Clippers bullied Luka. Their bully is gone. Trez isn't there anymore. Marcus Morris still is, but they're going to be watching that like hawks.
I think so. When the Clippers first acquired Rondo, I kind of laughed at the acquisition because of what they gave up. They gave up picks and cash for him.
And Lou Williams.
And Lou Will. But I mean, Lou Will was kind of
he's done. It's weird. He really went away.
He's just too much of a liability on defense. He can't.
He can't defend.
But I think Rondo, he fits well with this team. He's kind of what they need when. I think last year a lot of the problems that Clippers ran into was late in the shot clock, late in the game clock. They kind of scrambled and were just hoping a shot would fall in their laps or just go to Kawhi or Paul George one-on-one, and they couldn't really get much going.
Yeah.
I think Rondo's a good organizer for them. I think the Clippers will win that series in 6. I'll give them 6.
I mean, I can see that. I think it's more I want the Mavericks to win, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I see the Clippers win, but
yeah. All right. Yeah. Wait. So what are the matchups in the East? We'll do those ones real quick, and then we'll pick our finals matchup.
Yeah. So Philly, Boston, Brooklyn, or I'm sorry, Philly, Washington.
Philly's gonna probably beat them in 4.
Yeah.
I could see the Wizards if Bradley Beal gets hot one game, like winning a game,
stealing a game. Yeah.
Yeah, like 5 max, but it'll probably be a sweep. Philly's they're too much.
I have Philly sweeping.
Yeah, it's too much. What's the next one?
Brooklyn and Washington. I'm sorry. I did this before.
Brooklyn and Celtics?
My prediction. Yeah, Brooklyn and Boston.
That's a sweep. Brooklyn's going to sweep the Celtics. Their Celtics they're not, they don't play hard. There's something about, what's funny? Did you watch it the last couple of seasons whenever Kyrie plays the Celtics? He goes off, busts him for like 45 points, and then all the Celtics want to dap him up and give him a hug and be cool with him after the game. Those guys are not, those guys in the Celtics aren't competitive enough, I don't think.
I think
it's the culture. I don't think Brad Stevens is the right guy.
No, their roster just still doesn't make sense to me.
No, they have no center. They traded away Daniel Theis.
Robert Williams has actually had a nice season ascending into a solid starting center role. They don't obviously. Yeah, he's not on the level of a lot of the other guys around him. I still think he's a good piece on the right team. He could be a huge contributor. But with what they have now, they signed Tristan Thompson, who's a lesser player at this point than Theis. Then they trade Theis so they could pay for Thompson's contract. They have Romeo Langford, who is supposed to be a big deal, but has yet to pan out to anything.
They have Carson Edwards, who I don't understand. He was good in the tournament 2 or 3 years ago, and that was it. Yeah. They have Aaron Nesmith, who's now starting. Like, who the fuck is that?
Grant Williams got worse this year. I don't know what they thought he could turn into. He's just
he's garbage.
A big guy who can't shoot.
Peyton Pritchard, some random little white guy.
Credit to
he
him.
Plays hard though. He plays hard though.
He's a decent player.
He plays hard.
He panned out better than I thought he would.
Dude, me too. I thought he would be overmatched in the NBA.
Yeah, Tatum is just a stud though. I could see that. I could see same with the Wizards.
Stealing a game if Tatum gets hot. That max 5 games. I call sweep though.
Milwaukee, Miami.
I got Miami in that one.
You got Miami again?
I got Miami in that one.
I think
Jimmy Butler is not going to lose to Milwaukee.
I want to say that too, but circling back to the addition of Drew, he elevates them at both ends at a much higher clip than most people could. He can defend 1 through 4, and if they're playing small ball, he could defend 1 through 5.
Oh, that was scary. My browser played music. Oh God, that scared the shit out of me. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Oh man, you didn't hear it?
I heard a little bit.
Oh my God, that was terrifying. Whoo! Fuck, that was bad. That's going in the episode for sure.
Oh
Oh, man. That was fucking loud.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. What were we talking about? Fuck, that was loud.
Milwaukee, Miami.
Okay. Woof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh man. I think this time around, Milwaukee, a lot of their issues last year on the defensive end was they didn't have a willingness to switch. They played everything straight up. This year they've done a lot more switching, maybe to their own detriment in the regular season, but I think it's part of the growing pains in implementing something new like that.
Yeah. I just think that now but I just think now the Heat have way too many guys that can guard Giannis. Like they legit have like 4 or 5 guys that can guard, and they have Adebayo, Butler, Trevor Ariza, Andre Iguodala. Like they're, I think that they got too many guys that can throw at him.
Bother him, but Giannis is
still Giannis.
Yeah,
I know.
But I think and if they do throw those guys at him and crowd him, Drew is good enough to get his own shot and still.
Yeah, he is. Drew's great.
He hits big shots.
Yeah, Drew's great.
And Middleton is still,
an amazing shooter.
He's a great shooter. I have my own feelings about him in the postseason, but
he's like Paul George.
But I think I think Drew sliding in and being their second best player and bumping Chris down to the third. I think he's their third best player at this rate. I think it relieves some of the pressure that he bared in years past.
Yeah, that's true. That'll help out.
Him
yeah, Drew Holiday is really the second option now, and Chris is relegated to the 3, which is probably best for the team and best for Chris. Less pressure.
Yeah.
So I like that. I can see that. That'll be a good series, though. That might be the most intriguing series.
Give me Bucks in 7.
I got Heat in 7.
Yeah, that one could go either way.
I can go either way.
Think Milwaukee this year, they made the right moves this year to push them.
Yeah, that's true. All right, what's the last one?
New York and Atlanta. I'm excited.
I got Atlanta.
I also have Atlanta. And,
the reason why, because finally Atlanta got smart and they're not giving Trae Young the ball anymore. I'm not a Trae Young fan. I said this before. Okay. But you understand why I'm not now, right? They have a point guard now that's playing and passing the ball in Bogdanovich, and they're a better team now. Right? You saw it.
I don't think it's okay. There's a little
bit of
truth in that
yes.
Trae with less responsibility and more off-ball movement is better.
Way better.
Is better in the grand scheme of things for the Hawks.
Yes.
But they also, they didn't have a Bogdanovich before. They didn't have a Danilo Gallinari before. DeAndre Hunter took a huge jump this year. Capella is a monster.
Kevin Huerter's really good.
Kevin Huerter is good. They have a really good team this year. And the record might not reflect it just because they were swarmed by injuries.
They got hot right after. They were one of the hotter teams in the East besides the Wizards.
I think
they got red hot once Trae got hurt.
I think people are starting to kind of overlook them a little bit. They're better than they look on paper.
Oh, they're good. They fired the coach and they started doing better.
Yeah.
So which sometimes happens.
Yeah.
So that I got the Hawks in that one, and probably honestly 5 games. I think the Knicks. I think the Knicks they're gonna come because I don't think the Knicks are a 4 seed. I really don't. Like I know their record shows that they are, and I know I praised them earlier on in the podcast, but it's the Knicks, dude. You saw Seoul, right?
Yes, I did.
Remember the Knicks? There's that one instance in Seoul where she basically was it 22, 24, whatever the girl's name is, where she just like messes with the Knicks all the time, and they're like, oh, they've been bad forever. Do you remember that part?
I don't.
What?
I missed that.
You're gonna have to rewatch it. That was a great part. Yeah. But anyways, it's the Knicks. So finals matchup, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Who do you got?
Coming out of the East for me, it's a toss-up.
But it can't be. You got to be definitive.
I don't think Brooklyn will make it out of the East.
No, I don't think so either.
They could. It would not surprise me if they did. I just don't think they will. I'm leaning Philly.
You're leaning Philly?
I think this is the most complete team they've had. And if they're clicking at the right time and they're all healthy, I think this is the year that they come out of the East and at the very least make the Eastern Conference Finals. Because God damn it, this process isn't working if they don't make it to the Conference Finals at least.
Do you want to hear mine?
Oh no, I don't, but I do.
It's going to be a rematch of last year's final. It's going to be Lakers and Heat again. I really do think so. Eric Spoelstra, I think, is one of the most overlooked and undervalued coaches in sports history. Not just NBA history, in sports. Eric Spoelstra is a genius. He's basically Pat Riley 2.0.
Yeah, in a series, there's not a coach you want to see less than Spo because
he studies. He got his job. He was the video coordinator for the Heat. This guy watches tape. That's how he got his job.
There's no one better prepared going into a series than Spo.
No, than Spo. He's the most prepared. I honestly think we're going to see a replay. It's not what anybody. I think it's one of those years where you're not going to see the traditional, 1 seed versus 1 seed or 1 seed versus 2 seed, on and on. Lakers are a 7 seed.
There might be a 7 seed going to the finals this year, yeah.
Which should be the lowest seed to ever make it to the finals.
Yeah.
And then I believe what the Heat are also, I think they're the 6 seed, right?
They're the 6 seed.
6 seed. So 7 versus 6. I'd put my money on it. I would do it. Fuck it. Cash out. I'm gonna do that right now and make that bet. All right. Before we sign off, you got any last words? Anything final you want to say?
This season was stressful. It was hard to really get completely invested in it. Obviously, it's basketball. I'm gonna watch regardless, but with COVID and guys being out from injuries and
I know
so many big names missed so much time, and it was
so many great players got injured, and
teams playing in stadiums without fans, you could tell really hurt the product, and
that was tough to watch.
It was, but I mean now you see it's starting to run out of form.
It's starting to get better. Things are coming back.
Yeah, and I hope we get to see every team at full health or as healthy as possible in the playoffs, because I think not only the fans deserve it, but the teams deserve it, because they went, they endured a hell of a season.
They did.
With however many times they're testing a day, and
I know
quarantine periods they had to go through, and some guys are had to be stranded in hotel rooms in cities 5 states away from their hometown, and nobody deserves a healthy playoff run more than the players, and I think the fans could really use it, because it was a rough year, but
it was.
I'm still excited as hell.
Oh no, playoff basketball is the best basketball.
There's nothing like it.
It's fantastic. So I'm excited because the season was hard to watch, but the playoffs are going to be good. Lakers start Sunday. We start Sunday. Game 1 in Phoenix. Fuck them. Last time we were the 7 seed, Kobe hit a game winner in Game 3 from the free throw line. You remember?
Game 4.
Was it Game 4?
They went up 3-1. Yes, it was.
Game 4. Oh yeah, 3-1. I remember that day because I was at my dad's house. We were swimming, and I had a knife. I was going to open up some goggles, and I stabbed my finger. Like I cut off a good portion. That's why I remember that day really vividly. So
I don't think a lot of people can relate to that. But,
nope. I hope no one else can. Hopefully everyone has all their fingers out there. But I'm just telling you, that's where it was. I stabbed I cut off a little portion of my finger, and having my middle finger. So I say, "Fuck you, Suns." And in light of Kobe hated the Suns, so we hate the Suns, and we're gonna kick their ass, and we're gonna ride this thing to the top. But Ethan, thanks for being on, man. This was fun. It's been a while. We got to do more of these. Anytime you want to do another talk, let me know, obviously, and we'll try to get it going. Now that you have your own mic, which is fantastic, we can just fucking do this shit.
Awesome.
It's got good sound. We'll see how
do you have an official name for KamKast listeners? Are they like Cammies? Are they?
I don't know. I actually don't know. If you guys have an idea for the listeners of KamKast, go ahead and DM me on cam.cast. It's KAM.KAST.
Cam Hive. I don't know.
Yeah, we got to get the Cam groupies a name for your male and females.
Cam
everyone.
Fam.
The Cam Fam's not bad. I don't dislike that. If you like Cam Fam, try to either comment it down here on YouTube, message me on the Instagram, or comment on any of the platforms I'm available on. But Mr. Ethan, thank you so much for being on. And this was a fun episode. And as always, you guys make sure that you guys follow and like and subscribe and share. The channel's been doing pretty good the last month and a half, 2 months or so. We've been really growing. A lot of activity on the Instagram, a lot of activity on YouTube, a lot of views, a lot of comments. It's been a lot of fun for me getting to interact with a lot of you guys. I want to have more of my friends on because it gets boring talking to myself all the time in a room all by myself. It gets lonely. And now that we're almost out of quarantine, it'd be nice to have more interactions with more of my friends. So I'm looking to do more of that in the future. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for listening, and peace and love. Thanks.